G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Bandaged Cube Creations. Now in today's episode we're looking at the Bandaged Bridge. This is not an official CUBETWIST puzzle that they produced, but it's one that was suggested by a viewer of mine years ago, Hunter Pauschuk, and he thought this might make a decent puzzle, and it does. So I guess the bridge is here to here, perhaps crossing the water, I don't know. But it has the two pairs, and these pairs are front right to front right down, and then right back to right back down, and a big clock from front down, or down front to down back. That's it. Now, when we come to solve it, we're going to see that we can use a few things that we know, and potentially some stuff that is a little bit creative, not massively, out there, but just something that's a little bit different. So the first thing in scrambling this, because of this big clock, it's tricky to get things to move around quite as much as you'd want, but I would start off as I would normally, and just if I've got two faces to move, go ahead and start moving them and do this sort of thing for a little while. And when I get bored of that, which is right about now, I would say, what else has to be scrambled? Well, these pieces in there. So I could try sort of this kind of thing, putting it at the back, then moving that up, and then putting it back to there. And you can see that's replaced it with some other stuff straight away. And I can keep going with my scramble. That'd be awesome if one day I knew exactly the right moves for the deepest scramble. It's on my list of things to do, but I don't know how to do it yet. At this point, everything looks pretty, well scrambled. So I would start moving some of these things around and just see what else happens. Obviously, I can't do that, but I can turn that off temporarily. Perhaps put that there. I don't know. Move things here. You can see there's not a whole lot you can do. You're quite constrained by what's going on. So at some point soon, like now, because things start coming back together, I would probably say it's time to... I want to separate that. Why won't that separate? Because it's between two of them. That's why. I was seeing an optical illusion then. I'll do this. I think I've done it finally, yes. Okay, now is probably the time to start solving the thing. So in solving it, the first thing that I want to do clearly is to get that big clock in place. And I've got to surround it with the two pairs. So I notice I've got green, red, and I've got blue, red. So if this is my clock, they're going to be sitting here-ish. So I'm going to treat this as my upper face, and initially just sort of get them out of the region where they are. So I would turn that, can I turn that? I'll just leave it there for the moment. Put this other one up on the upper face. I'll store this down the back somewhere. To store it, just need to turn that off. Can I store it like that? No, so probably more like maybe that will do for now, and just concentrate on this one. Now this one here, you might think, cool, that is ready to turn in. The problem is I cannot turn that face. I can only turn this face if it's not blocked. Like that's the movement I've got. So if this piece does not go correctly into place like that, I need to do something with it. In this case, that's basically to flip it. So let me see if I can do that. Instead of the red being on top, I want the blue on top. Now that's there. I can temporarily turn that off to put it to the top. And then what I should find is that now that's ready to go into its position. And so I will turn it off, position up, put it on and down. Now you can see the other one is going to be red, green, which is going to go here. So this piece here I'll solve when I've done the two of these. Let's put this up to the top and see if that is already in the correct position. It looks like it, but of course this is opposite. So no, it's not. So this one I've got to get the green up to the top. So to do that, I can turn that off temporarily, Turn that around, then move the green to the top and away, then return this other stuff. Okay, so that should now be correctly positioned to go in. All right, now this piece here, the red, white, what I've found is that I want it in this position and I want the white on the top. So because the red's on the top here, I will initially just move it down to here and then find a way to move it up to the top with the white, which would be something like that. Should get the job done. I can move it up to the top and move this stuff back. Okay, good. And I said I wanted it here. Here is the reason why that works. What I'm going to be doing is removing these two pieces and then placing it in here. Just watch how this travels as I do it. So I'll turn it up. Then I'm going to move this around to the back. Now it's over here. Then I'm going to turn it up again, 2 turns. Now the position is there. The piece is here. As I turn it around to get these two out of the way, I now have a really easy turn into position. Then I can undo these turns to put this thing back. So that's what I found is pretty straightforward for getting that one in. And at this point, we are up to a big block type solve for now. Obviously, we're going to have some different things going on. For a start, we're going to have flipped edges that we cannot get on a big block. So I would still go about solving it the same way. This is an orange-white. So I'll just see, does that turn into position? Yes, that's fine. The yellow-red, that's already in position. The yellow-blue is in position. This blue-orange needs to be flipped, as you can see. So I'll bring it up to the top, and I'm going to flip edges in exactly the same way that I would do them, with one difference. So the first thing I do is a down, down, up, up. Now I want to turn the upper face to bring this back, but this is bandaged here. So in order to move this, I want to turn that down and that down. That now allows me, and by the way, notice that that has not affected these 3 edges, which is what I'm interested in. So I can now turn the upper face, the right face, undo, undo, and then go ahead and put back those 2 things. And the thing that we were interested in then is the orange-blue. You can see that has now been correctly placed. Well, that will leave 3 edges, so I will just place them where they need to go. In this case, I've got to swap because that's in position, although flipped. These 2 need to swap. So as per usual, if I have a pair of swapped edges, I want to turn a face 1 turn, then resolve this one to here, resolve this one to here. So let's cycle that one first. That puts the yellow red in this position. It needs to go there. So I'll cycle that around. Okay, and that should now leave us with some kind of 3 cycle. And you can see yellow orange to here, green orange to here, green yellow to here. It's got to be a down, down, up, up of some kind. So I'll do that. And then I'll discover that, in fact, 2 of my edges are flipped. So for this, I can just turn that up to the top so they're both on the top and perform exactly the same thing. Before I do this next part, move that out the way, move that out the way. Okay, bring it back and bring that one back. And the last setup move, and all the edges are done. So that is not too bad. What I want to do next is place the corners, and I'd probably initially place this one here, white, blue, orange, if I can. That's straightforward enough. I can turn it to the middle, swap these 2 pieces. And then put it back. Now, ordinarily, I'd probably look to place that. It's not in the ideal position. The other issue with it is that I'm almost certainly not going to end up with a really nice 2+2 swap at the end. Let's have a look what else I've got. White, yellow, green, red, going to yellow, green, orange, going to yellow, blue, red, going to here, going to here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is the sequence that I'll use for the rest of it to place corners. And I'm going to give you 2 options for sequences to use. And there's a reason for them. The first option that I'll give is essentially going to be a corner piece series. And if you think about a corner piece series, you've got an upper face, a right face, and a left face. So if I was to hold the puzzle like this, let's say, here's my upper face, my right face can turn, my left face can turn, and it does put that up there, but it's not going to get in the way. So if I want to go ahead and set up pieces as I wish, here, for example, I might decide, what's this one? Yellow, green, orange, and I'd like that to be solved, for example, or maybe I'd like the white, green, orange to be solved. If I wanted to solve the white, green, orange, I might do a setup of up, right, and that would give me these three to cycle, just to put that one in position. And I could then go do the corner piece series. Now I'll just undo the setups, right prime, up prime. That one has been done. And you can see that is definitely one option you've got. Now let me show you the other option, and the reason for that is because that other option is really similar to how I'm going to twist edges at the end to avoid having to use Sune and its mirror. And it's very, very simple. Before we get there, let's place the remainder of the corners. I've got these two done. Now, one of the things about it is you probably want to choose one or the other of the sequences, because I've just got this done, but in actual fact, this is one of the corners that is going to cycle. This is the other one. This is the third one. So ideally, if I was going to use this method, I'd look to place these two first. Let's see if I can do that. I want to place the yellow, orange, green into that position. So as a setup, I'm going to do a right two. The piece movement is here to here to here. So that's definitely going to place where I want it. Here's the sequence. Down, down, up, up, then a back turn, and then undo it all. So a down turning this face first, down, up, and undo the back turn. Now you remember that I had a setup of right two. I do that, I've got that piece placed. So very, very simple sequence. The other one I wouldn't mind getting is this one, yellow, orange, blue. Well, I can do the same thing by doing that right prime turn. That yellow, orange, blue will go down and place here. Okay, so here we go again. Down, down, up, back, undo, undo. When I undo the setup, those two are placed as well. Now with that, what's happened is the final three have gone and got themselves placed. Okay, fair enough. We move on now to the final stage, which is twisting the corners. It's almost the same sequence. It's just doing two down, down, up, ups. That's the only difference. And the corners that are going to twist are these two over here. The one at the top is going to twist anti-clockwise. The one at the bottom will twist clockwise. So at the moment, I've got this needing to go anti and this needing to go anti, this needing to go clock. So what I might do is just give it a setup move there so I can get these two corners done. And here we go. Two down, down, up, ups. Then my back turn and then undo. And undo the back turn. When I put back that, you can see those two corners are twisted and it just leaves these last two. Well, that's got to go clockwise, so I want it to land there. Let's see what happens if I do this. Yes, that will work nicely. Okay, so setups here. I want to do a right prime, a front, and a right two. And that'll put these two corners where I want them. Away I go. What did I say? Right prime, something, right two. So I'll do the right two. Must have been that, and definitely that. So hopefully not too painful there, this bandaged bridge cube. Well, this is the puzzle for the next video. This one is called the Bandaged Clock Jupiter. And this is the last in the series of bandaged clock puzzles because We don't want clocks on all 6 faces, although I believe there is a puzzle that sort of makes that happen. I'll have to look at that. This one is the Jupiter. So the only face that doesn't have a clock on it is the white face. All other faces have clocks. And this one certainly promises to be quite challenging. We'll see how we go in the next video.